dialysis. First I said, get dialysis. You didn't want to get dialysis. I said, get on the transplant list. You don't want to get on the transplant list. And you wearing a winter thing in the summertime. What's going on here? I need you to listen. All of this is for you. Everything is for you, and you just do not listen. What am I going to do with you? I just don't know. It's like talking to a baby, a stuffed animal or something. I don't know. I'm just going to have to call that lady. I'm going to call that the dialysis whisperer, the transplant whisperer, whatever she is. I don't know. She's the dialysis genie in a bottle. I don't know. But you're not listening. And I need you to listen, so I'm going to call her. Because, woo, this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Ah, there you are. What I tell you. I got a wonderful show for you tonight. That's right. An excellent guest, a wonderful guest, the whole kit and caboodle. You're going to love it. So drive back, buckle up, and get ready. Let me tell you a little bit of something about my guest. All right. She's a minister. She's a first lady, right? Her name is Armeisha Jones, right? Okay. She participates in the community. She helps with Meals on Wheels. She's in the choir. She runs the women's department. She's the first lady that gets in all the departments and deal with the departments and be a part of the departments. How about that? She's a woman that loves people, that loves her community, and she's good at heart. And I am so glad to have her on the show. I want you to welcome her. She's family. All right? All right. Ha, ha, ha. Come on. Hey, Armeisha, good afternoon, good evening, good everything.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be with you tonight. Thank you for the invitation.
I'm glad to have you. I mean, you know, I had to have you. You're a good woman. You're a good person. You're a first lady. You're a minister. You just so many things. And I just wanted to share your life, your testimony, the things that you're doing with this community, because, I mean, we all need to get involved in our communities. We all need to be healthy. We all need to have something to do. We all need to be, you know, prayerful with this pandemic, the COVID and all this stuff going on. We just need to just be one with each other and to be more better together. How about that?
And that's right. Everything you said is so true. So true. So I am a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a daughter, a sister, an auntie, you name it. I fit the category, and I got a different hat to represent it. So I must be all things to all people. So yeah, I'm in everything.
Well, that's wonderful. This is what it's all about. Now, we're going to start off with your natural job. What was, before we get into the spiritual part of it, your natural job? What job did you do or did before?
I have worked as a teacher for the New York City Department of Ed for several years. I left that, went to chiropractic college. I was a chiropractor for over 15 years, did that. And I'm a chiropractor. I got student loans I'm still paying. Move. He made it so clear and so transparent to me that he made it uncomfortable for me to be where I was. So let me tell you about my Egyptian experience. I worked in offices where I had mice running over my feet, where the owner of the office would not buy toilet paper, and I had to bring my own. And
I don't know why we having so much funny connection tonight. And I do experience this before on one of the shows. You know, I think you're going in and out. How's the Wi-Fi over there?
The Wi-Fi. So
because now you're blank. you're blank and we don't see you.
Oh no.
And all right, we gotta fix it some way. Do you have remember I told you to have some kind of what is extra. So if you can't use your cell phone, use your husband's,
Okay.
your child, somebody's cell phone, or somebody else's laptop.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
all right? Because all I see is your picture, and I'm talking to that. I mean, I've done interviews like that with just hearing the person's voice. If you can't fix it, we're gonna go on. Nurse Belcher have a show right after this, another Dynamite show after this one.
Okay.
So
I'm working on trying to fix it. Continuing with.
okay, well, what you were doing, maybe they can work on it while we talk.
Okay.
All right. So you work for the school system.
Okay.
How many years did you work for the school system?
I worked for the school system. I was there for 2.5 years. And then I just said, okay, it's time to move on and go somewhere else. Can you see me now?
No, I see your picture. Thank God I at least can see that.
Okay. So after that, I decided I was going to go to chiropractic.
There you go. Uh-oh. You must be got two things on at one time. I've done that, and you get that thing get that noise. And if it gets echoing, use earbuds.
Okay. So how are we now?
We're good.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. So I was a teacher with the New York City Department of Education for 2 years. And then I left there, went to chiropractic college, finished chiropractic college, started working as a chiropractor. And again, I said I did that for over 10 years, almost 15. And God just made it so uncomfortable for me that I had to leave. And I said, okay, Lord, I yield, I surrender. You want me out, I'm out. And that's when I left. And I'm working right now for a year and a half, not even 2 years yet, as an office assistant at a charter high school. And with that, I now help students to get through high school, work with parents. I am the parent communicator, the parent whisperer. So I'm having a ball doing that. And I love what I'm doing right now. And I'm working on my master's to get my back end education inside the classroom and not just in the main office. So that's where I am right now.
Woo, beautiful. Look at that. You don't went in, out, and sideways. I ain't mad at you. Come on here.
God will move you where he needs you to be.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he will. Yes, he has. And yes, he does. All right.
Yes, he will.
Now, you working with the young people, the kids. I love children. I did with the youth prison. I was over the youth department 13 years with New Life Cathedral. And it's just an excellent thing to do and be. And it's important to help them shape their lives and help encourage them because they make mistakes. And some people throw the teenagers away. But I'm glad you didn't do that.
Amen.
I'm really glad you didn't do that because they have so many challenges. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now take us to some of your positions inside of the church and what are you doing there?
Okay, so I started out, my husband's been pastoring his own church for the past 5 years, started out as first lady.
Good for him.
So interesting, when we went there, I was very quiet because I'm not the one being, considered. I'm not the one you're looking at him. So I sat back. I know how to play the part of a rib. Sometimes I got to support from the back and not just the front and the side. So I sat back and I did my, first lady duty. Hey, how you doing? God bless you. Good to see you. Happy birthday. And finally, I said, okay, enough of this. This is not me. I'm active in the church. So then I joined the choir. And from the choir, I went ahead and I joined the women's ministry. And eventually, pastor said, okay, let first lady speak, let first lady minister. And then the people were like, oh, man, she's not just a first lady. There's a lot more to her. So some of those layers had to be pulled back in order for people to see the anointing. Once they saw the anointing, then they said, oh, yeah. She's a different kind of first lady. So from that point, now I've become part of every ministry. Whenever they want you, first lady, can you do this? Absolutely. I'm a part of the hospitality ministry. First lady, can you help us with that? I sure can. I'm a part of the combined choir. First lady, can you do that? I sure will. First ladies have to be there. First ladies help bridge the gap and make things a lot easier for their husbands who are the pastors. And some first ladies don't know this. And I actually know a first lady. Her husband was asked to leave the church. And when they asked him to leave, they said, please take your wife with you. So their first ladies make it easier for their husbands if they would simply do the work of a first lady. Doesn't mean that God's called you to minister, but be the wife, be a good first lady to the people, and that will help make your husband's job a lot easier. So I've played or participated in lots of ministries and played parts in several roles, some just supporting cast members of a ministry, some as president in a ministry. And right now I'm the president of the women's ministry, and we are off to a late start for 2020, but we are still working in God's kingdom. And we've got a Zoom service coming up on September 19th. We've got 5 dynamic speakers from across the country. The South came in heavy. So we've got preachers coming in from Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi, New York, and North Carolina. Not coming in, but coming in by Zoom. They won't physically be with us, but they'll be with us by Zoom. And it's wonderful just to work with the different ministries and get to know them and just fellowship with them. It's wonderful when you can say, I remembered your birthday, here's a card. It's always the people who are giving something to the first family. But it's good when the first family can say, I remembered you, I had you on my mind, I wanted to reach out and touch you, I wanted to just give you a gift and say, hello, I miss you. So it's good to play both sides. Don't just take from the members. But if you're a loving family, you got to give something back to the ministry. You got to give back something to the people that you're supporting. Your husband's praying and he's pastoring over them, but let the first lady bridge that gap and say, here, this is for this one who had a loss in the family. This is for this one who had a birthday or anniversary. You got to remind your husband of those things. You got to remind the people that we're family together. We are not elitists, that we can't be reached and can't be affected by those whom we are serving. We're servants. We serve. So when we serve, we have to make sure we remember the things that affect you. So that's how I make sure I'm a good first lady, and I stay in part and I stay active, and I make sure my people know that I love them.
Wow. That's all right. I got to give you a hand with that. I mean, I know a lot of first ladies, and a lot of them do look beautiful, do look pretty. Some of them work, some of them don't, you know, but most of the ones I know did something in the church. If they didn't do everything, they did something. I know Lois Elaine Rochford, my first lady, was an excellent first lady.
Bless her.
She preached, she did everything. Her and her husband was excellent and good. I mean, when I was sick, they came to the house. You know what I mean? They always looked out and everything like that. She went to be with the Lord. We miss her. She was dynamic, preached like none other, prayed like a crazy woman, got that prayer through. If you was half dead, honey, she done spoke you back to life. I wasn't mad at her. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, ma'am.
It's good that you have that zeal and that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got different functions anyway. Some people just take care of the home. I ain't mad at them either. But now in the community, you do community Meals on Wheels. Tell us a little bit about that. That's beautiful to get back to the community.
Yes, ma'am.
You like
Meals on Wheels, I like to volunteer during the holidays because, you know, family get together, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, all these big holidays. But you have people at home, especially seniors, that don't necessarily have family to get together with, or they don't have a very good meal that they would like to have for a holiday. So when my husband and I were dating, I had already started Meals on Wheels, working, you know, for Christmas and Thanksgiving, going out there and delivering meals to someone's home. Once we started dating, I took him with me one morning and he's like, oh, dear Lord, how often do you do it? I said, baby, just for holidays. So he got the hang of it. His sister came with us one year also. She used that letter as, you know, her community service for her college application. Now I got to get my daughters into it and let them know, look, we're blessed. We've got a home to stay in. We've got food to eat. If I'm not cooking for the whole family, then we've got a family member who's cooking and we can go to their house and eat. So this is how I teach my children. This is how I teach those who are close to me. You have to give back. So for Meals on Wheels, I volunteer during the holidays and I make sure that I get up and I'm at the house. I'm out of the house. I'm at the station, ready to get the addresses and get the meals. I like to do the walking. I like being a winter baby. I'm born in November, so me going outside when it's cold, I'm quite happy in it. My husband's still getting used to that. But we take those meals. We have 2 satchels of bags each, and we have addresses, and we deliver those meals. We say Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, God bless you. And you could see just how happy those people were. Some of them will even invite you into their home and say, no, come inside, it's cold outside. They'll offer you something to drink, and they're just appreciative of the company. And we forget that, and maybe their families forget it, or maybe their family isn't in New York. But we have to remember there's someone out there less fortunate to you. Just show them a little love, give them a little time out of your day, just a little bit of time. early in the morning, they start delivering those meals. They're packing them up for you at 6 a.m. So you get your list, you get your groceries together, everything's packed up for them, and you're leaving by 7:30 to deliver a meal for them. Now it's dinner for them, but if you can get it to them early, get it to them early because you don't know what they're going through. So I like going to the Upper West Side. I don't drive because I want to have that experience of walking. I want to walk and deliver in that neighborhood. So that's what I do. I make sure I get out there, I knock on those doors, I ring those bells. Good morning, happy Thanksgiving, Meals on Wheels. We're here to deliver your meal for the day. And they're very appreciative of that. And I love doing it.
Now that's the kind of thing I like. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what we do is we set the table for for the people to come in the neighborhood, especially the shelter people. We will invite them in. We have
Yes.
singing, a whole program done, and we spread the table so they get that. Then
Mm-hmm.
on their way leaving, we give them bags of groceries. So, because like you said, we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what's happening in the house or in that shelter, or in that place, or whoever came out of the neighborhood who need the food. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mad at you. You got to do whatever works. You know what I mean? You got to do
Yeah.
all of those things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some don't get to see singing or like a play or like a Broadway type of show at the church. So whatever we having that can make them feel comfortable better, don't treat them funny or hold our noses closed or up. So
Uh-huh. All right.
excellent. Come
Mm-hmm.
on now, excellent. Now, how would you say now that you have ever dealt with anybody that had been on dialysis or
Mm-hmm.
diabetes or even dealing with sickness, death, or COVID or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that? If you have, how did you or will you deal with that?
I've dealt with that firsthand. Diabetes. My mom, my grandmother, and I had type 2 diabetes. My sister does not have it. God bless her. I'll tell her, I
Bless
don't
her.
know how I skip you, but thank God you don't have it. So I'm dealing with type 2 diabetes right now. I'm in the process of changing how I eat, getting more exercise. I'm losing weight. My A1C is coming down, thank God, because my
Good.
primary care said, if it goes above 10, we're going to have to do insulin. I'm like, whoa, we're going the opposite way. We are not going above 10. So
Right.
I'm doing what I need to do so that I can maintain control over my life. I don't want someone making decisions for me. So I'm doing what I need to do to stay healthy, to make control decisions for myself, and then be available for my family, be healthy and available. I don't just want to live to be 100 and I'm sick and I'm out of my mind and drooling on myself. Let me live to be
I'm
100
telling you, right?
with full
Yeah.
activity of my limbs. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm healthy and I'm active as I gracefully grow older. So dealing with type 2 diabetes, it has to be lifestyle changes because this is not something that we were born with type 1 diabetes, but
Say
instead it's something that happened in our life. So whether there was an injury to the pancreas, whether there were changes that occurred with how we were living and what we used and did, it affected our body in such a way that now we have type 2 diabetes. So I'm dealing with that and I'm learning more and more about how to control it and what to eat and what not to eat and how to prepare my foods. So that is very helpful. In this age of COVID, everyone is affected by it. Whether you are affected directly or next door neighbor or close friend, everyone is affected by it. I lost my mom on Mother's Day to COVID-19. That was a hit we did not expect or ever thought would come at this point. We
no.
just as strong and powerful and awesome as my mom was, we thought she would be here well into her 80s and 90s. So that
Yes.
was a major hit for us. I lost an uncle before her. And when she came on the ventilator, we told everyone, do not tell her who has passed. Lost a
Yeah.
cousin
Yeah.
before the uncle. So we
Yeah.
just kept getting hit one after the other. And we said, do not tell her who has passed once she was off the ventilator. In this day and age of COVID, with people initially not even understanding how they contracted it because you can carry it and not have symptoms. You can be asymptomatic. So we have to take precautions. We have to protect ourselves against the things that we don't see and understand. We have to make sure that we give ourselves time to let our bodies rest and heal because that also weakens the immune system. We have to make sure we have optimal health to maintain a fighting chance against this unseen terror that is terrorizing the world, not just America.
Yeah.
So people dealing with it, The one thing I have to say that got me through is my children, first of all, because I had to be strong for them. But then the other thing that got me through, because no matter how strong you want to appear and how strong you want to present yourself, you are at some point going to start cracking and showing I'm hurting. So what I had to do was like, Lord, I need you to give me my joy back. I can't do this by myself. I need you to give me my joy, because I found myself getting sadder and sadder and almost to a point of depression. And I said, Father, I need you to give me my joy back. Holy Spirit, I know you can do it. I believe in you. I trust you. What's going on in my life, I still believe God. And I'd wake up the next morning and my joy is back. I'm laughing. I'm joking around with my family. I can look at something and smile. And it just takes that. And I know it sounds kind of cliche as, oh, you have to pray, you have to pray. Yes, you have to pray, but you also need to find an outlet. Anyone who's suffering from a loss through COVID, you have to find an outlet. You need somebody to talk through this with. You need somebody to help you through this process. Please don't ever think that because we are Christians, that we don't need counseling, whether it's the Christian kind or it's the psychological kind. We go through things. There's a grieving process. Don't get angry with God and turn your back because you lost your family member. You have to remember that there is still life and purpose in you. Otherwise, God would have taken you instead of your family member if he had no more purpose for you. So I make sure I get an outlet. There's someone that I can reach out to, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relative that's in another state. I'll reach out to somebody to make sure that I'm still holding on to reality and that I'm in my right mind. I don't want to slip up and think I'm doing right when I'm really doing wrong. So for anyone who has gone through this process, this loss process, especially with COVID-19, for anyone who's been diagnosed recently with either having kidney disease or diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or now you have a heart condition, or we've been home for so long, some of us have gained weight. Now you're getting into the obesity scale level. So you need to make sure you have an outlet of somebody to reach out to so that you can get the information that you need to help yourself. Because if you cannot help yourself and make decisions for yourself, someone is going to make those decisions for you when you are incapacitated. And then you have to say, well, are they going to do what I want them to do? Do they know me well enough to speak on my behalf? So these are the things. Get you an outlet. If it has to be some type of therapist, get a therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. If you meet with your pastor or a different pastor, meet with them. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to have an outlet so that you can maintain your stability so that God can continue to use you fully. Because like I said, if he were done with you, he would have taken you instead of the one that he took.
Wow. Wow. Woo! Oh, goodness. I don't know what else to I don't know how to go with that one. I love it. I love it. I love it. You on fire. That's right. It is hard to lose a loved one. It's hard to be ill. It's hard to be sick. But you got God. You got to make your community. You got to put your community together. Use your family, your resources. That's right. The pastor. That's right. The mental health specialist. Come on here. Meals on Wheels, whatever it takes. That's right. Hey, it takes the whole village. Come on here. It takes the whole village. Right. Now, if you could encourage a somebody out there, maybe another first lady, maybe she's struggling, she don't know how to be a first lady. Is there anything you would say to her, or anything to maybe a woman, a mother out there? I know you wear a lot of hats. Take one of them off or use all of them and say a combined blessing to her. You really said it all, tell you the truth.
Amen. Amen. Words of encouragement to a woman out there or a first lady. Let me see. Let me give you the church answer, and then I'll give you another answer. The church answer is Proverbs 31. You got to be a good woman, a good wife, a good mother, where your children rise and say that we are blessed. Where your husband looks at you and he says, this is my helpmeet. Don't mess with my love. Don't mess with my rib. This is the one that God gave me. Those are the things. Look to other women in your church, those who are on your level and those who are at the level that you want to be. When I worked as a chiropractor, I tried to attach myself and get to know doctors who were in a position where I strove to be. So if they had their own office or if they had two offices, I wanted to know what that person knew, that they were able to maintain what they had. So for the women who are out there, if you're coming, you're an unwed mother. If you're coming and you're a former drug addict, some drug addicts could be your best missionary. If you're coming and
Come
you
on.
don't know
Yes.
much about church or much about God, but you want to try something new, come on in, mama. We got room for you. There is room for you. There is always something for us to do for each other. It's just a question of have we remembered to do it? Because some of us feel so high and mighty now that we've arrived. I'm just going to sit in church with my big hat and look. That's not being a Christian. Being a Christian means I go over to that single mother and I say, here, darling, I hope you don't mind. This is for you. And what's in it is I just heard she got a new apartment. So I just bought her a whole lot of goodies for her place and for her kids' bedroom. Mamas need that every now and again. I know they may get some vouchers and stuff from the city, but it's different when you have somebody who looks at you from week to week and day to day, and you can say, here, this sister did this for me. And it's not about me getting praise, because my thing is, this is between me and you. Don't nobody need
I
to
don't
know
tell
what I do
nobody.
for you. So make sure
That's
you just
right.
keep this between us. God knows what I do in my heart. I don't need anybody coming patting me on the back. Oh, that's so nice you did that for her or for them. No. I know what God put in me to do. I know what he equipped me to do. So for that first lady, it's not always easy being a first lady, because you think we don't hear when you're talking about our husband when you're sitting behind us on a pew. Oh, baby,
All
we
right.
hear you. But there's too much God in you to respond to the devil in you. So I'm just
Oh,
going to leave that at the altar in prayer.
real.
God, go ahead and fix that. You Jesus. We hear you
Mm-hmm.
talking. We just don't respond to you. There are
Wow.
those things that you need to do as a first lady. One, you don't fight with the ministry. You don't fight with the members. You go ahead and you assist your husband. Let me explain it to you this way. God took Eve from Adam's rib. First doctor, first surgeon. This is what he did. He took the rib in order to make Eve. The rib is a very vital bone in the body, because you see, it protects not just the vital organs, the hearts and the lungs, but it
Come on.
starts from the back, attaches to the vertebra, the spine. Then it comes around the front and curves down, and it attaches one to another with cartilage. So the rib knows how to breathe and move up and down like a bucket handle when you're breathing. So every now and again, like I said, when my husband first got appointed as pastor at Mount Hermon Baptist Church in the Bronx, every now and again, I took a step back and I had to be the back of that rib that would support his spine and keep him strong. But every now and again, when you start coming from my husband, I got to come around the sides and I got to step in front of him and I got to say, hold up now, this is the pastor you're talking about. Hold up now, this is ministry. Put ministry first and don't worry about liking a man. You need to understand what the vision is that the pastor gave you. So you have to understand the purpose of a first lady. When you know how a rib protects, when you know how a rib functions, a rib is very vital with bone marrow. And sometimes they'll use that marrow to transplant into
Rib.
someone else in order to boost immunity.
Wow.
So a rib can supply a boost, an injection of immunity to somebody else that's lacking. So for a first lady that's brand new into the ministry, brand new into the calling, and if you didn't know that God was calling your husband to pastor and now you think you got shoved into this position, God doesn't shove you into anything. When he put you with that man, he made sure that there was something inside of you, equipped in you, that had to be nourished and developed. So to all the new first
Wow.
ladies that are out there, and you don't quite know where your position is, I need you to attach yourself to a first lady who's doing the job, helping her husband and helping the ministry and serving God at the same time. You need to attach yourself to that. Can I please tell you about the first time I met Pastor Lois Rochford? It was at your wedding. And at your wedding, I saw the first lady cutting cake, serving food, and helping to clean up. And I looked at the I was dating at the time, and I said, that's the first lady doing all of that? Oh my God. And I fell in love with Pastor Lois Rochford that day. And years after that, whenever I would see her, whenever I would hear her preaching, whenever I saw her with Bishop Rochford, I had to go over and give her a hug. I said, oh, Pastor Rochford, I love you so much. And she's like, oh, I love you too. And when my husband would see her, he said, my wife is in love with you, Sister Rochford. And she said, I love her even more. That was a working first lady. She was a
always and forever. Yes.
And that is what modeled me to be the first lady that I am. When I saw Sister Lois Rochford in action, when I saw that sister, I said, oh, yeah, I definitely understand what it is to be a first lady now. And I patterned myself after her. So for every new lady out there, for every new sister that's joining a church, get yourself attached to, and just go up to them and say to them, I'm still trying to find my way. Could you just a little bit. I don't always know what to do and what to say. Could you just help guide me along my way? And to that sister that's going to be your guide, God bless them and God reward them abundantly. But that's how you get yourself established. That's how you get yourself
Well,
planted. You have to attach yourself to someone who
yes,
you see doing the work of God in order for
that's
you to get to that point where you know how to do the work of God.
beautifully said. Now, I have to end the show. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? I was supposed to
Mhm.
end it about 5 minutes ago. So,
Shout out to Mount Hermon Baptist Church, my absolutely fabulous husband, Reverend Joseph Jones. He is the pastor. My children, Gabriella, Alexandria, and to the Granberry Jones family. God bless you so much.
I love you. You're the best cousin ever. I ain't mad at you. Stay on your job. Stay what you do. And just continue to
Amen.
work. Love to your husband. And you write about the
Yes.
blow about your mom. And just keep doing what you got to do. I love you and I love your strength. Good night. Mwah.
Amen. Bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. You are doing an awesome job educating everyone. I love you. What's your saying? Take care of your kidneys and your kidneys will take care of you.
Yep, you better go ahead. I ain't mad at you. I see you, First Lady. Thank you,
Love
cousin. Bye-bye. Well, guys, you've seen it, you've heard it, and thank you for tuning in. See you next week. Much love, many blessings, and woo!
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is